What happens when three buffoons give life advice, explore unrealistic situations, and give random topics more thought than they probably deserve? It's the Spitballers Podcast with Andy, Mike, and Jason.
A bingity bang bong bing bong ba dingity boop boop.
The badingy in the middle?
I
thought no, it's fine, man.
I thought it was really good.
You just felt like it was.
I didn't want to end with a boop boop, and yet I did.
I don't think you did. I think you ended with a boop poop.
Oh, did I?
A boop poop?
That's what I heard.
Boop boop.
We'll have to check the tape.
Yeah, I
Booping
mean
and
that's
pooping.
we'll see what the YouTube, if you put the transcript up there, what it interprets my scat as.
The auto translation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun game.
Also, how you doing, Al?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Fresh off of 8 weeks of vacation, Al Borland finally back in the studio.
Feeling rested.
Yeah, I mean that's a good long run. You may have only noticed him missing from one episode, but
Two.
oh,
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, whatever.
Because like our efficiency actually went way up when he was out.
So we got more done.
Yep.
Mhm, so much more. Let me know if you need me to leave again. These
I was
paid
gonna say-
vacations are welcomed.
Yeah, I know. We did pay him
Wait a
for
minute.
it. That was the mistake. Would you rather? Is this real life? And we are drafting. I think it'll be a funny one. Creative ways to dispose of a dead pet. So I'll be curious as we go through that draft, just whether any of you have stories from your childhood that relate to
Ooh.
those circumstances. I mean, I guess I could ask you now. Do you have any stories about dead pets? Jason,
They're really happy stories. Yeah, well, I have a horrific memory of my mother being in nursing school, and so part of that was in a freezer in the backyard. She had a dead cat, like that. She
Okay,
had to
what,
like
yours?
no, not a
Okay.
pet, not a pet.
I was going to say,
but-
this is such a classic tale of nursing school.
Yeah. Well, no, I think this was very common, like for dissection or biology or whatever
Okay.
reason.
Did she know she couldn't bring it back?
She
Like
did.
the nursing had failed
The nursing,
at that point.
she's a terrible nurse. And she received the cat alive,
Oh, no.
and then was like, "Well, I'm just gonna keep it in the freezer." No, but the reason I say it was horrific is because if I'm out swimming in the pool or playing in the grass, if that cat was out, you knew it. There was a
Wait,
very
the cat was brought in and out multiple times?
the
yes,
freezer?
to work on certain
To thaw?
class things. I don't know what she was doing. I
You
was
sure,
not.
she, you
I
sure
was
she
not,
was a nurse?
I was not in her class. Yes, I'm sure she was a nurse. I'm just hopeful that this was to dealing with the nursing school.
Right.
But yeah, the smell.
I didn't know there was a lot of thawing, freezing, thawing, freezing.
I didn't either.
I thought it was more of a one-time dissection and then get it out.
Look, if it was one time in my memory, that
It
smell
made a mark.
has stayed with me. I can smell it to this moment.
Yeah, I mean,
and outside?
Yeah. Oh, you don't want that thing inside, Mike.
Well, of course I do. I'm just saying, like, the fact that you were in an outdoor area and it was still that
That's what
overwhelming.
I'm saying. We lived on
an
like a
impressive
cul-de-sac.
cat
We had
stench.
a decent sized yard. I was not near this cat, and it was. You just knew it was
Wow.
absolutely horrific.
wow. Yeah, I mean, I know that like a general story of a pet dying is not a funny story.
Right.
I'm thinking more of like there's often those pictures of parents like, the gerbil dies and they have to figure out what to do with
replace it.
To like, do you try to, it's like a sitcom story that you'd see, I did try to set a gerbil free once
Oh, back to their native land of
to the
desert?
habitat. Yeah. And then
You're free.
I did.
Run amongst the sand.
Because and it wasn't a gerbil, it was a hamster. And to be clear, shouldn't be pets. I mean, hamsters are the worst. I mean, just the stupidest, dumbest. They don't play with any of the things you buy for them. They sleep during the
They
day.
run in the wheel.
If you're lucky, they run in the wheel. Mine didn't. I built them this huge, giant, almost like it was a theme park with tubes and all that stuff. They just sat in the small little cage all day long pooping. And then at night they're awake.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to get out of their cage at night, so they keep you up.
Just trying to keep you awake.
And then during the day they're asleep or they bite you. I mean, that's the only thing that happens. So
I actually have a good story.
I tried to set it free
Oh.
in the forest,
So I have a story. I don't know
and
how
then
this,
I took it back.
I don't know how this didn't come to come to mind because this was like 2 weeks ago.
My
This is a
goodness.
fresh news story.
Oh, no.
So we had a bearded dragon that my youngest got year and a half, 2 years ago. And it's grown to, full size. And we had kind of gone on a little vacation. And I make my son take care of him. And he doesn't do the best job. But, I make sure he gets fed most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I really take care.
Yeah,
But anyways.
how often do you feed a bearded dragon?
We feed ours every day.
And what do you
Some people
you
feed them
bugs?
Mostly worms, mostly mealworms.
Okay.
So one night, my youngest was feeding him, and he says to me, "Dad, I think Spike is dead." And I was like, "Nah, he's probably not dead." And so I
He's
go
real tuckered out.
Yeah, it's just tuckered out. So I go to the cage and tap on the cage, open the cage, tap on him. Move him a little, and Spike's dead. And so that was real sad. My son started to cry, and because his pet had died. And so I was thinking, okay, I've got to, this was like as I was tucking him in, we went through that whole experience, and then later when he was asleep, I came down to dispose of the body, which is, what the draft is about today. I didn't want to touch him.
What was the plan? Where was your disposal plan?
My disposal plan was garbage. It's not
That's not even like a shoebox in the ground?
a shoebox in the garbage. I'm going to decorate the shoebox, put a little pillow in there, it's all tuckered out. But I didn't want to touch him.
Not the freezer.
No. I didn't want to touch him. I don't know why. I just, it grosses me out. So I literally got a spatula.
Oh, my goodness.
A kitchen
That you cooked with?
spatula. Yes. A big one, like the barbecue ones. I wanted a long handle. So I'm 2 feet away
You're
from
going
him.
to spatula Spike
I'm going
up.
to spatula
Not even
Spike
tongs.
up
You just go to a
into,
spatula.
Up into, the tongs
into
were
a cast iron skillet, I'm sure.
the tongs weren't long enough. I didn't want to be near this thing. And so I spatula under him, got to get under the legs and all that.
Was there an inadvertent flip?
No, I didn't flip him like a flapjack, but I pick him up and I bring the garbage bag over, and then his head raises up. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, he's not dead." And so I think he was, because what had happened, I remember
You threw a living bearded dragon away.
The reason that we thought he had died was we have like this carpet, and he had gotten under it. And so, they're cold-blooded. So he couldn't get to his heat lamp, and he was like underneath the carpet where we found him. And so I just assumed he like froze under there.
He was hibernating.
And so I moved him on the spatula up to his heat lamp, and he's happy, healthy to this day.
Wow.
So there's an interesting Lazarus story for you.
Thank you.
Would you rather?
Jenna from Instagram, would you rather live a life full of joy and laughter, but with no memories? Or a life full of memories, but with little joy and laughter?
What is life?
Joy.
What is life without memories? You know what I mean? Like, you're living in the moment. You remember
Right.
now. But, like, is that life?
I think it's a little difficult because what is a memory technically? Like, memories.
Here you go.
Well, look.
Yeah, baby.
Because isn't that true? Because, like, you're not saying that the fact that you remember your kid's name, that's not a memory. You use your memory to recall his name, but it's not a memory. Like, you're not memorizing
Okay.
some moment where you knew his name. It's
So I know who I am.
I'm just thinking that maybe you know who you are, you know who people are, but you're goldfish. It's like you can't reflect on anything that's happened, which it'll affect how you appreciate things. Or
Okay, I guess I interpreted that as you have no memory at all. But this question does say with no memories, so I think it is specific to not to being able to like have knowledge, but just to be able to remember the good times that you've had.
right, which ironically you wouldn't have, because your memories would be a time you have no joy or laughter with your memories, because all of the events that happen would not contain joy or laughter.
I think we have a circular problem where everything just breaks down for this question.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Because if you have no memories and you have joy and laughter, I don't know. It's like
You don't think you'd appreciate the joy and laughter?
it just
In the
seems-
moment?
It's in
Yeah.
the moment, like right here, right now. I'm not
Right.
thinking about any memories. I'm just living with you guys right here.
Now, I am not this hypothetical case, but I'm not far off.
From no memories?
From like I have a pretty joy-filled, laughter-rich life that I just don't remember. Mike, you have, an elephant's memory. You can remember how everything went down and all the moments and bring them back up. And then I can remember, because I'm not this hypothetical situation. But I really just I let things go. Things come and they go, and it's kind of like a goldfish. I just don't hold on to those. So,
but they're still there because there's the reason why something
Can trigger that?
something can bring you joy and laughter is because you have built on memories. I mean, I guess there's some things that it's just like human nature of like a little kid, go fast. You're
Well,
like,
I mean-
that's enjoyable. But I'm like saying, but like things that you laugh at, your sense of humor has been built on your experiences over time.
I don't know about that completely. I'm just saying, like, we sit around the table here in the studio and we hear other people's stories of their life and we laugh and we have joy, and they have nothing to do with my memories. They just have to do with them telling me something funny.
But we have context of experiences we have lived in our life that we understand why that is funny. Otherwise, it would just be a story. It would be you would have memories, but no laughter or joy.
I think when I go to restaurants and I watch those TVs that are like Chive TV and it's just a bunch of people falling
Right.
down, I don't need to have any experience to know that's funny. I mean, that is really funny to watch people fail at things.
That's why I think there's some things that are just natural, like it's just built into us as human beings. Going fast is fun. When people fall down and get hurt, not seriously hurt, but when people get hurt, it's funny. We laugh at that.
My final answer will be the life with joy and laughter and no memories, because I think ignorance is bliss for a reason. And I will be ignorant to the memories, but if you live the life with memories and no joy or laughter, you will constantly be reminded a stacking amount of memories that do not contain joy.
Now, to be fair, Jennifer My G said, but with little joy and laughter.
Oh,
It's not no joy
That's
and
Come on,
laughter.
Jenna.
that's
Which-
a big little
Jenna.
word.
Well, here's the funny thing. If you are always full of joy and laughter, the barometer for those moments, is not, they aren't as valuable as when you live a hard life, but you have a few moments of joy and laughter. Those become even more special. Yeah,
Just
but I'm
little-
taking.
sure,
I'm taking.
yeah.
I mean, we're all taking the life.
Yeah, you
full
gotta
of
have
joy and
you gotta have
laughter.
joy and laughter.
Aiden from Patreon, would you rather have to stay in school forever or never be able to learn anything new? How would that even work? So you're just saying the second you leave school, you are capped on your knowledge? Is that
I
how
suppose
you're
so.
interpreting that, Al?
I think you have to make a decision today whether or not you're going to stay in or go back to school and stay there the rest of your life, or continue to be able to.
Oh, so like I can live with the knowledge I have now?
I mean, we're not learning
Yeah.
new stuff anymore.
Yeah,
I
that's
would
fair.
actively keep my knowledge now
And
because
not be
that
able to learn anything.
I am losing information at this
No.
stage of my life.
You learn new stuff all the time.
Do I?
You
Yes.
do. You do. We
You
do.
like the person spearheading all of our company's knowledge on what is going on with AI. Like that's you. You are the one who is doing that, and like you're like you have. It has lit a fire of passion for you, and you're learning a whole bunch of brand new stuff and skills, and that would have been impossible.
Do you want to know what the next social network is after, right now TikTok is the newer one
I would
from
love to.
Instagram? Well, you won't be able to learn how to use it
Oh, that's true.
because this says you're either in school or you can't learn new things.
Can I do remote schooling, Al? Like, can I do one class a semester?
No, you can do remote
You thought
schooling,
about it.
but
You thought about it.
you can do remote, but you still got to give, I'd say, 3 to 4 hours a day in school.
Can I
gross.
go to the university? Can I be the old guy at the college parties?
Oh, yeah. College life was absolutely excellent. It might have been the best of life.
It's your first taste of freedom.
It is your first taste of freedom. You are old enough to be considered an adult.
Uh-huh.
You certainly know that you are. I mean,
Yeah, you're
I mean,
definitely a big boy.
looking back, it's like, wow, we're little kids on campus doing stupid stuff. But at the time, man, you think you're really a mature adult, and yet you get to make all these mistakes, have fun, and you're still, when you're at a university, you're still insulated. You know what I mean? Like you
Right.
You know, all the responsibilities of the world, they're not on you yet. You know, you got student loans paying for dinner. So I don't, that was the life.
So you're going to school?
If I can go, can I be on campus at a university?
You sure can.
Oh, brother. See you guys later. I am full-time, rest of my life, college student.
It's funny because that like insulated environment is almost like the retirement home.
Yes, I'm retiring to the
but
university.
It's so self-contained. You got the rec center.
But you
got-
also get to learn. Like the way
learning's fun.
there's something I think that is unfortunate about the way that our system is set up of like kids, we put them in school right away. They hate school until the moment they graduate. They go to college, or if they want to continue their education. Some kids go to college. A lot of kids still continue to hate the education. Some just party their way through. Some learn some really good stuff. And they're like, well, that's the end. I hated school. I hated high school. All I wanted to do was get out of there. And then I was removed for many, many years. And I went back to college in my like later 20s. And I didn't go to university. It was just trade school. It was awesome, man. Like I learned so much stuff. I was engaged as in I'm learning something for a trade or a skill that I'm passionate about, and I was on fire. I was at school I
was gonna ask you.
I hated missing school. I hated it. And then when I would get home, I've had homework. I'm like, this is awesome. I get to do all these computer programs.
I was just curious how much of liking school just has to do with the fact it was your idea. You know how like
Maybe.
when something's your idea, you can get behind it. Like when you're a kid, it's not your
Yeah.
idea. You're forced to do it.
That could be.
Did you care about grades?
Which
Or
part?
did you care? Like, did you care about grades, or did you do it just to learn? Because we're so
when I went back.
Yeah, when you went back, like
when
we're
I went-
so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had the goal. I was trying to be valedictorian. I was.
Ooh,
I ended up
Mr. Fancy Pants.
as. I failed. I was the salutatorian, which
well,
is second place. So
pretty close.
First loser. But yeah, so I mean, the grades were important to me because I set the goal of I'm going to do the very best I could. But I loved learning new things. I had reached that point in my life where school was acceptable and getting new information. But maybe you're onto something of it was my idea to go back, and maybe that's why I enjoyed it.
I actually think we are onto something with this forever university idea because if I can elaborate a little, you don't pay student loans when you're in college.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You just keep taking them.
You just keep taking them.
Oh, so you're never paying these loans?
Oh,
off.
no, because I'm never leaving college. I'm
And they go when you die. They go with you. They don't get passed down to your family.
They don't?
Student loans do not get passed down.
I mean,
What's the
why
cap?
don't we? What is the cap? What is the cap as to how many degrees I can get, how long I can live on campus?
with 86 degrees.
I mean, that would be
What's
awesome.
the record? What's the record for most degrees?
Most
that's
degrees.
an important question we
And-
must answer.
And were they able to pull that off entirely on student loans? What is the record on student loans? I have $62 million in student loans.
I guess I would rather learn forever and just embrace that environment. I think you could live a good. I've always romanticized living on campus someplace because I never got to do it.
Oh, it's excellent. I was just off campus. I was like the cool guy in the apartment near the dorms.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to go to
So
your dorm or you want to go to the apartment? No.
So you were the gross old guy.
Well, I was a kid, so I was okay. Now I would be the gross old guy.
Did you figure out the record for degrees?
It seems it's Michael W. Nicholson who has 30 degrees.
I can do better.
Yeah,
That's-
if you live there, yeah. For the
That's
rest
a
of your
lot
life.
of degrees.
All right, are we all sticking in school?
Yeah, well, two-thirds.
Yeah, I mean, Jason needs a roommate.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
Tyler from Patreon, would you rather be able to paint any picture you can imagine or be able to write an amazing song at the drop of a hat?
Ooh, fun ones. So this might surprise you because I think I think the majority of people would prefer the music, would prefer the songs. I think it's maybe even a cooler trait to have. But the reason that I would love to be able to paint any picture you imagine is because of how incredibly far away from that I am. Like, I don't know how to play the piano, but I could learn how to play the piano. I know that.
You could learn to paint.
I could not learn to. I could. Here's how I know it's impossible. I can't picture in my head what I want to draw or paint. So I don't need to learn how to paint. I need to learn how to think before I can then learn how to paint.
What do you see in your head? Out of curiosity.
Stick figures. I see broken ponies drawn in sticks. I mean, there's nothing that comes to my head when I go to draw. When I try to, like, if I'm going to draw a football, the football in my head, I wish it was clip art. I wish I could conjure up a clip art football in my mind. What I am visioning, what they say. What I am visioning right now is a two-dimensional stick outline, totally oblong
for a football.
For a football.
Now, do you what size font do you think in?
Oh,
when you're imaging these things,
when I'm visioning, if I'm visioning deeply, it's a smaller font size. It's
really?
Yeah, it's like a 8, a 9. I get a lot.
8 and 9.
You can
read
still
that?
see that up there.
In my head, yes.
Okay.
Now, out in the real world, no. I'm gonna need a better prescription on these lenses.
You're an 18 or above.
18 or above in print. Yes.
Now, this is kind of an inside joke because Jason has always zoomed in his screen.
Yes.
He's always zoomed websites. He's always when he'd asked me to make websites, he always wants the fonts about two font sizes bigger than my sensibilities.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm curious in is do you write in a bigger font? When you write a letter or you write on something, do you increase your penmanship size?
I do not. No.
Wow.
I think that
Can you read your own handwriting?
I can read my own handwriting.
Do you hold it up to
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's too small?
Well, let me think here. If I was right, I mean, I guess
let me write something and I'll give you the font size.
All right, give me a minute to vision something here.
Oh, okay.
And
it's
then
like a stick figure, but letters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys talk. I'll write something.
All right.
Great.
Now, Mike, which would you go with? The amazing song? Like, I know if you put your mind to it and you sat down, there's no way that you would say, I couldn't go make an amazing song right now. So is that a reason to choose the picture, or is it like,
I mean, it would be
the process is still difficult for the song right now?
Sure. And it, like, I guess the process, sometimes it's very, very easy, but sometimes it is extremely difficult and you sit there forever and ever and you're not getting anything done. So if it's at the drop of a hat, you're just always creating an amazing song, that sounds fantastic. I'm with Jason of art is sorcery to me and I don't understand it. Going back to the choice of school, because we're gonna cross-pollinate these questions here.
Of course,
I did go to art school at one point after I had graduated, and I'm still trying to figure some things out, which was my decision.
Oh,
it was a terrible.
You flamed out of there.
It was I don't know that I was there long enough to call it a flame out.
I have to ask you then. So
Yes.
you went to art school because you wanted to be a graphic designer?
I went to art school because I wanted to make video games.
And you figured that was part of the path.
And at the time that was like the one place I could find. And
Interesting.
I may have mentioned this, but I was there maybe 2 courses and I was just, struggling. It's like I've never been a visual artist.
Like stick figure level?
Oh, I mean worse. And then one particular project, it
was finger paints.
it was a pencil drawing. And we had to set up just a scene, and so I put like a shoe and something else, and I worked hard on this, and I was pretty proud of the results. I'm like, for me, this looks good. So turn it in, and the next class, where everyone's getting their papers back, I get my paper back of my drawing, and it just says, "Please see me after class," and. I did not see that teacher after class, nor ever again.
Oh no! What if they wanted to compliment you?
No, the grade was on the paper too.
Oh, okay. Okay.
This was not going to be an encouraging. Hey man,
no.
I've seen the improvement over the last couple weeks.
So you had thought you had made great strides,
I
and
did.
the result was a bad grade and a see me after class, and you just saw yourself
Yeah.
right out of that school.
And
Brutal.
I'm like, I'll never be
Wow.
back here again.
I am done with you,
Wow.
Mr. Teacher.
All right, Jason,
so
give me that
you
font.
I'm gonna hand this to you, and you tell me what font size this is for writing standards. Is that abnormally large? Is that small?
This is how you'd write a letter?
This is how I'd write anything.
Yeah, this is about 16 to 18.
Okay, so I write in large font.
Yeah, that's a pretty big. Like, if you wrote that letter to me, I would not be sure it wasn't coming from a child.
Oh, fantastic.
It's definitely
big
bigger.
font.
It's a bigger font.
We can show the cameras here. So
Oh, I
they
don't
can-
know if the cameras will be
Yeah.
able to. I mean, the cameras can read it. That's how big it is.
I mean, your
Okay,
your
yeah, that's a good point.
penmanship's pretty good.
it is.
Thank you.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
no, it's legible.
How did you guys do in handwriting? Get one
Like
back.
the cursive and stuff.
No, just when we got handwriting grades.
Bad.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Bad.
Did you ever what now?
They were gonna, like that would have been the reason I was held back.
In your in the scale, did they have the different letter set?
Yes, like
Okay.
the best is an E.
Yes. Yeah. Did you ever get an N?
What does that stand for?
Needs improvements.
Oh man.
I think there was like, E was I think high, S. Maybe there was an O for us. I don't know, but yes, at one
Yeah, it was
point,
like
See me after
exceptional.
class.
at one point I got the equivalent of like a D or a D minus on my handwriting because it was so bad.
Very impressive. I will go with the painting of the picture. I think that would be, like, if you knew some of the discipline of painting, I feel like it would be so enjoyable. But I struggle I'm enjoying the process, and then you step back and you go, ew.
Yeah, because they like the foundations are like, okay, look at this object, break it down into shapes. It's just you're like, if you look at it, here's a cone, and I'm like, how do you possibly see these things? It's just a horse. That's all. What shape is this? Horse. It's horse shape.
Yeah.
Get out of here. It's not a cylinder plus anything else. It's a horse.
See me after class, Mike.
Yes.
Hiring for your business can feel harder than not laughing at this podcast. It's a real difficult task to accomplish, but now you can actually look forward to hiring. Why? Because you can use Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. You don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you could do it all in Indeed. When I used to run Broken Bowl Game Studios, hiring was a core part of the business. The worst part for me was when you need someone, how long it takes, but Indeed has Instant Match. You're talking about with Instant Match, as soon as you sponsor a post, you get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job descriptions, and you can invite them to apply right away. Indeed does all the hard work for you. Sponsor job, and boom, instant match. It's right there every time. Join over 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match your must-have job requirements. Visit Indeed.com/ballers to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/ballers. Indeed.com/ballers. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Is this real life?
All right, we are hopping into Is This Real Life, where we have each selected a real news story, something that has taken place, and sharing it with one another because we are blown away with the fact that this is indeed real life. Do we have somebody that would like to go first? You want me to go?
I can jump in here. Mine's just kind of a quick one. We like to keep the Spitballers kind of a timeless as of the recording, but I'll say the recording of this one, it's close to Valentine's Day, which is important for this story. So Valentine's Day, it can be a delightful day for lovers.
Oh yes,
out
yes.
there. You have couples, but there are people who their hearts have been broken and they're no longer in a good relationship. Perhaps that relationship ended, right around Valentine's Day. Well, we have a zoo here. It's the San Antonio Zoo, and they're offering a special Valentine's Day opportunity for people for a $10 donation, which goes to help out the zoo. And like zoos need money so they can keep on running.
Keep zooing.
So yeah, keep doing the zoo things. They will name a cockroach.
What?
The name that you would like. So should
my
the though that has spurned you.
After your spurned lover?
Yeah, you can name. They will name the cockroach and then feed it to one of the lizards.
Oh my goodness!
So this is like a way of dealing with it.
This is awesome.
So you go to the zoo, you write down, you name the cockroach, your ex's name, and then you watch a lizard eat it.
Yes, and you'd receive a digital Valentine's Day card acknowledging the support. Which is
there like a video of Stephanie being eaten?
No, I don't think there's the video of it. But it's like if you want to then be extra petty, you may send the Valentine to said spurner and be like, hey, I made you a roach and they ate you at the zoo.
Yeah, there's two options when you break up with someone. One is standard counseling. The other one is to go to this zoo and deal with it in a different way.
Hey, it's great.
I think that's hilarious.
They have the vegetable route available as well. Should you not want to go fully to the bug?
Plus $10 is way cheaper than counseling.
Yeah, that's true. I love the creativity here by the zoos to keep themselves in business.
Oh, but also then for $25 you can use a rat.
Ooh,
wait, and feed it to a snake?
No, yeah. You can name the rat after your ex for $25.
For $50, do I get to feed the animal personally to, say, an alligator?
That part I do not know.
Well, that could be an upgrade.
Yeah,
very nice.
At first, I thought you were gonna say for Valentine's Day you could pay to like have one of the animals named after your signature. Like I thought this was gonna be a beautiful thing, and it was so much better than.
Wait, hold on.
There's an upgrade.
There's for $150.
Oh, let's have it.
You can upgrade, and your donation, a personalized option will create an individualized video message of your cockroach, rodent, or veggie being fed to the animals.
Yes!
So you can get the video.
That's an important part. I don't want to.
Oh, that's hitting social media.
If I spend
that's hitting my stories.
If I spend $10 or $50,
we gotta get in on this.
Oh, we should. But if you just spend $10 or $50 and they say, okay, it happened. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
You just sound like a crazy person. You're like, I named a cockroach after you and fed it to a lizard.
I want a video
what do you mean?
of this rat being eaten in your honor. That is fantastic.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll go next. Mine is also in the
San Antonio.
No, mine is local. Mine is from Arizona.
Oh.
But. It is in the world of animals. So this is a very animal-friendly show today. We're
considering the draft.
We're
respecting our
loved
friends.
Pets. The headline reads, Police in Arizona warn against buying owls from strangers while on drugs.
Wait.
Well, the strangers are on drugs,
who's
or
on
you're
the drugs?
on drugs?
Or the owls are on the drugs.
Police in Arizona warn against buying owls from strangers while you're on drugs.
Okay.
So you're on drugs.
They are not necessarily warning you to not do drugs. They're just saying, while you do drugs, please don't buy owls from strangers. And what's funny is this was actually in a public service announcement from the Payson Police Department.
Our tax dollars at work.
Hard at work. So basically this happened from someone who was on methamphetamines and bought a wild owl from a stranger for $100 in the middle of a night at a local gas station.
Okay.
I have more questions about the individual at the gas station with owls to sell than I may have for the methamphetamine.
I can understand it from the
meth head. I mean, it's an owl.
You're going to do a lot of dumb stuff. You already started doing dumb stuff. You started doing drugs.
I'm confused. So,
but there's a guy. Now, please tell me it's in a trench coat. He's got 5 or 6 owls inside of it.
That's my question is, does the owl handler have the owl on person, or are they just like pointing up in a tree? They're like,
I'll get you that one.
I'll sell you that thing
one,
over there.
That's Frank. You want to buy a big Frank up in that tree?
Now,
$100.
Now, Owl, do you have any
Oh,
insight
yes.
on this as our resident owl in this studio?
I do not. I try to shy away from owl trafficking.
Okay, that's
Oh,
good.
okay.
That's good.
Man.
The police in
Good man.
Arizona want people to do the same. They talked about how it is illegal to buy wild animals, apparently, and so
I hope whoever sold him this owl, like Mike said, is just up in a tree, and this guy is like, I want to buy something. You got anything? He goes, yes, that up there.
See that?
You can buy this owl.
And unfortunately, the owl had minor injuries when rescued from.
Okay, so the owl wasn't in the tree.
No. The owl was
Okay, so
It was in
a
his
cage.
pocket.
It
So
was
the
in a
person,
cage.
the person who had the owl was a butthole.
Yes, I
Okay.
believe there were 2 buttholes in this story.
Well, interesting. We live in a weird world. And speaking of which, I am not sure I should share this story.
Oh, perfect. Let's have it.
Only because I'm not sure it wasn't Jason in this story.
Oh, let's not share this story.
A Utah man
Okay, so far so good.
is accused of causing a wildfire by burning a spider.
Oh, worth it.
A Utah man has been arrested
Not really.
on accusations that he started a wildfire while trying to burn a
Oh, my
spider with
gosh.
his lighter. 26-year-old, his name's in here. It's not Jason.
Oh,
it's
thank
Corey Martin. He spotted a spider while hiking
Come on.
in the foothills of Salt Lake City,
Does he have a boot?
and he decided to try and burn the spider. Now, deputies, they did
my.
find a jar of marijuana in his belongings,
Okay.
but he wasn't high when burning the spider.
So my father recently
Is a Utah man?
no. My father this last Christmas bought for me, because we have like a cabin up north, and I make campfires in the woods, and sometimes it's hard to light them because it's windy or whatever. And so he bought me this butane torch thing that is, oh man, it's awesome, and it's really like small and handheld. You can put it in your pocket, but then when you push that button in, it is straight. You're hot. Like, my face gets hot. It's awesome. If I had that thing on me in a hike and I came across a spider, I don't know that I have the self-control to not just nuke that monster for the good of
And the rest of the
humanity.
entire
But that's the problem.
ecosystem.
I assume this guy must have had this butane torch, because that thing would. It works.
But here's the thing. You were not in your bedroom. You're on a hike.
You can turn around.
Like, you could simply
It won't
just
catch you.
You could shift to the right 2 steps and just go around the spider.
I'm on
How
one
big is
side
this-
of the spider. I'm
need-
on the other
yeah.
side of the spider.
Exactly. If you're on a hike, you are in the spider's area. Like, if you want
This
to
is why I don't do hikes.
if you want to remove all
That's why.
and kill all spiders in your house, okay, I get it.
That's your territory.
But don't go out into the wilderness and be like, I'm going to hunt these spiders down. They're not doing it. They're
Also,
they're just spidering.
don't burn the forest down.
Yeah, don't do that
I need
too.
to read the quote from the sergeant in the case to end this story. And he said, quote, "What led him to stop and notice a spider and decide to try and burn it? We don't know. There may not be a why. He might not even know why."
What kind of spider was it? Does he even know?
I don't know.
This guy. Unbelievable.
It's quite the story. So he was arrested
Did the
again,
spider
on suspicion of reckless burning.
did the spider die?
I mean, probably in the wildfire.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the-
a lot of them
The
did.
spiders are.
A lot of them did.
Okay.
All right, it's time to draft.
The Spitballers Draft.
Well, we'll continue the animal theme. Creative ways to dispose of a dead pet. I mean, Jason, I like that you shared the story of your thought-to-be-dead bearded druggie, because that is the predicament that I am picturing with this draft. The pet is now dead. And actually, I've thought about this with things like farming. I was like, it'd be cool to have a bunch of chickens. I'm like, what happens when your animals die? What do you do with them? How do you get rid of them?
Well,
I got to go touch.
We're about to answer those questions.
So, look, and I want a keyword creative ways to dispose of a dead pet.
Okay.
Because my number one pick, I think, could be framed as a way to honor the dead pet.
Okay.
Nice.
Maybe to, it kind of ties into what some people do in different funeral type of situations. I would like to take this dead pet, and I would like to tie it to a balloon and set it free.
Oh,
How nice.
So we're going to let give me a name for like a little pet. Frank, we'll go with Frank.
sure. Frank's back.
We're going to let little Frank.
I thought you were asking. I was going to go ferret.
Oh,
But it's
yeah, Frank
Frank the
Frank the
ferret.
ferret.
Okay.
And we're going to tie him to the balloon filled with helium.
Okay.
And we're going to stand in the backyard, and everyone's going to say a nice word about the smelly ferret
As he soars
as he soars to
to the heavens.
the
Absolutely,
heavens,
Yes. He's gone
and
to heaven.
eventually to somebody else's.
No.
Like,
Oh yeah.
It is my
Oh, yeah.
understanding that it just goes up forever
into
and
space. There's
into-
a bunch of.
and then we'll be in heaven.
Okay.
That's how that works.
So I think this would be
Little ones.
amazing.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going to do with good old Frank.
I love it. That is. Can I just say it? That's beautiful.
Well, it's the clear 101.
Touching. All right.
All right, Mike. You
I thought you were going to go with this one.
okay?
Because you were talking about you wanted to honor your friend who you've spent years with, and maybe while you're honoring them, you aren't fully disposing of them. You are in fact keeping them around.
Yeah.
This was
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Because you're going with the taxidermy.
Mhm.
You're and an action shot too.
Oh,
whatever,
for sure.
Whatever their number one trick was, that's the pose.
That
Like-
is
Like if they're did they have the beg? Could they do that thing? Now little Rover's begging forever.
yeah.
See, I think I would take my Rover, and no matter how sweet, I'd make it have a vicious growl.
Oh,
You know what I
okay,
mean?
so
Just
you
like this is a
guard
That
terrifying.
you never had seen.
It's exactly because now
Put
he's
some
a
new
guard
fangs
dog.
in there.
You could just leave that by the front door, and anytime that door opens, someone is gonna crap their pants.
I know. Yeah. Oh, the taxidermied version.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking you were just saying the dead. I was like,
no,
that
no.
that's
No.
too far.
No.
Mike.
I knew a woman who she was single and had her own place, and she had tons of cats, and every time they die, she would taxidermy the cats,
Yeah,
and she
people
had a
do it.
whole wall full of them.
Yeah, people do this.
Wow.
Also, I don't know that person, but that person would be really weird if I did, huh?
Yeah.
There are people that do it.
All right, Jason.
Okay. So this is very reminiscent of your 101 pick, Andy. It's something that I think is beautiful. It's something I would want to
Oh.
do.
Okay.
It's something that has been done for thousands of years in certain cultures.
Oh, this was my first pick.
I am going
I thought it
to
would come back.
place this animal in a boat.
Yes, dude.
I'm going to
was
kick it out to water.
It was my number one.
And I am lighting that sucker on fire with an arrow, a Viking funeral.
It was in my list too.
It was the first thing I
Yes.
thought of.
Goodbye, sweet prince.
Yes.
Wow.
Off to Valhalla.
Yes.
The best part will be when you take it to like a lake, like we have up north here, where it's very small and there's nowhere for this thing to go but to the other side of the lake, and then you
Yes.
burn the forest down. You really need to put it out on like a moving body of water, right?
Yeah, the ocean. But then I worry it'll just keep coming back. It's like, no. When does the tide go out?
All right, so a Viking funeral. That's special.
All right. And now we're
You
getting
do that
a
with the hamster too?
you could do it with
It's-
anything.
it's a little
Absolutely.
boat.
Yeah, well, you size the boat appropriately.
This is
but
when he
if
puts
it's a hamster,
the lizard on it, and then halfway out to to see his head move.
the only problem is you would prefer it to be a larger animal for success rate of arrows.
Oh, the arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if that's a little boat, well, you're going to need a lot of arrows.
All right.
All right, my next one is far more practical. You can't always,
You don't got time.
you don't got time to go to the ocean and build a boat and Viking funeral it. Sometimes you just got to dispose.
Sure.
But it is illegal in almost every place that I know of to actually dispose of a pet in the garbage. You cannot do that.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you-
you can't do that.
I knew that.
Yeah. Don't kids, you don't put
What are you
don't-
supposed to do with them?
Well, I've got the
you're
answer.
supposed to call the vet.
A neighbor's garbage can. That is the answer. I'm going to sneak in the middle of the night before garbage pickup
Oh
day.
my gosh.
And it goes in that guy's garbage can.
It was totally on my list.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
The
I mean that's
neighbor's
the
trash.
way. And don't stink up your own can.
Very nice.
Probably go down the street. Just,
Yeah, I'd walk. I'd take a walk.
Maybe I'd take a drive. Well, then it's gonna be in the car. It's a tough situation, but just don't put it in your own garbage can.
Yeah.
Got to find another.
All right. A neighbor's trash can. Mike, you are back. You have taxidermied your pets.
Yeah, so I will. We approached this draft very differently. I do have one that kind of fits in here with what you're talking about. And look, we'll call this just it's a problem for someone else because it's just right in a time capsule. And it's just going.
Oh, how sweet!
Wow.
It's just going in the yard.
Oh man, that's good.
With a note that says "Open me in 50 years."
Oh man, I hope you moved before then. That's
Can
a
it-
good one.
It'll keep the smell, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
it'll
Time capsule.
Real seal it in.
Vacuumed.
Seal in the juices?
Seal in the flavor.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Fido's coming back.
I wouldn't put any other valuables in that one alongside Fido.
Oh, I have to make it a real time capsule.
I'd put 2 time capsules.
I
Is what I'm
put
saying.
like a CD in there,
Okay.
a USB drive, and Fido.
Oh,
This is
man.
what dogs used to be like. Okay. Wow. Time capsule that pet.
That's a good one.
I have released a pet to the heavens.
Yes.
By balloon. I'm trying to decide what the best route to go is. I've got some difficult to kind of get your head around ideas.
Okay, high
Things
concept.
that not everybody in the family is
Yeah.
going to be in on.
Yeah, I got those two.
But
be a leader.
I think the best thing to keep the family together in a matter of speaking, because when the pet leaves, it's an absence. So why dispose of this? Why get this essence out of your house when you could feed it to the other pets?
Oh,
Okay.
So they become one.
I see. Like they absorb the power,
Yes.
as many cultures used to think.
You can
Other-
say they're still with us.
Are the other pets in on this? Do you think that you can get them to
Whatever it takes.
partake?
If you need to do a little extra maneuvering, I mean, maybe they'll just eat it raw.
Is this like you're
Maybe
gonna
you mix it in.
turn it into a sausage or
If necessary.
Okay.
Oh man,
Okay.
that's a rough one.
Yeah, and you're saying your whole family's not in on that one?
Not the whole family.
Oh, most of them.
No, not even the pets that are going to eat
I'll
this.
say, I hope your pets are just like those big hogs
Yes.
that eat everything.
That would work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That would work.
Well, at that point, if it's a big hog, if that's all the pets, then just baking it up. I mean, you know,
And now he's with you.
right?
This next one is more expensive,
Oh.
but not quite as difficult to swallow, so
Okay.
to speak, as the last one.
Sure.
And they did it long ago to honor their leaders.
Uh-huh.
And we're gonna go
Ooh.
mummification
Oh, it's on my
in
list.
a sarcophagus.
Oh, okay.
So we are.
I didn't have the fancy
We're
sarcophagus.
mummifying and we're putting it in a golden sarcophagus.
Wait, no fancy tomb. Where are you putting the sarcophagus?
Now you're
Like in
just
a
getting,
pyramid or
now you're
something?
just getting crazy.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
huh.
on.
This
you-
is on display in the living room
Yeah.
under glass,
Okay.
but it is of course your pet.
Right.
So I will go mummification.
It was definitely on my list.
All right, we are back to Mike.
Okay, for my next pick, I'll just start it out with, I got this idea from a movie. Maybe she was onto something in that Cruella de Vil wanted to create a coat.
Yeah.
And what better way to never forget my friend than I have a coat, a fur coat.
Yeah.
Better
That's
get
really
that
nice.
coat quick.
Oh, well, yeah. I don't know what you have to do.
Is he
Like,
dead?
it's-
Yes, he's dead. Hurry!
You have to take care of those things, but of course. But then it needs to be prepared. So, I guess a fur coat.
We
I don't
hang them on the walls, but we don't wear them as often as we'd like to.
Well, it's pretty frowned upon these days
Mm-hmm.
to
Do
wear
people
animals.
wear cats?
Well,
It's not you got to have a lot of cats for a coat.
do you?
That's more like a mitten.
Oh,
You know, you just
a kitten mitten.
Yeah, a kitten
Oh,
mitten.
my-
So you're hoping that you lost 2.
Oh,
Because otherwise it's really just like an
Oh,
oven
man.
glove, and you really want a pair of kitten mittens. So
This is the darkest turn this podcast has ever had. Oh, no.
yeah,
I would be smitten for some mitten
Oh,
kittens.
man.
That's a great
Hey,
pick,
you're the
Mike.
one who
I
brought
really-
up the coat.
I really, really like.
You knew kitten mittens were coming out of that.
Cruella DeVille started it.
I mean,
You use Cruella DeVille as your inspiration.
Yeah, it's my scapegoat.
That's one of the problems. Don't use
scapegoat,
villains. Scapegoat. Like
All right.
okay. So I see that you guys are starting to hold on to these pets. You're starting to keep them with you. You're taxiderming. You're eating them and wearing them.
Right.
I really want a taxidermy, and unfortunately,
You don't have it.
It's been taken, so I am left with pickling.
Oh,
That is the way that I get to retain this wonderful animal in a jar, preserving it.
you can pickle them.
Yeah, you can pickle anything. Mike, you could pickle anything and preserve it.
No.
It might have been better to just, there's I'm sure there's other ways, but my way is pickling, and I think
And then
that,
it just stays in the jar forever.
oh yeah, you don't want to open that jar.
There's a Portlandia episode where the company's like, we can pickle that, and it's everything.
Man.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's in the jar, like like the shrunken heads and stuff like that.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, the other one.
Hope you're still with us.
Oh, they're in on this. This is, I think our views are going up right
Suddenly
now.
feeding it to your other pet seems pretty good, doesn't it?
Don't think so.
No, that
I
was
think
still-
that is still far and away last
the worst.
place. You're literally eating it. Okay. The last one. Look, in the case of Spike, this would have worked very well, but in most cases, could backfire. There's not a guarantee. Could, but I think if you're quick enough on the uptick,
Sure.
you kennel the lost pet
Okay.
and gift the sleeping
Pre?
pet to a bad family member.
So they have not passed
He's
on
sleeping.
yet.
Well, no, he has. I mean, I know that,
Oh.
but they are not aware. And then you hit them with a, "What'd you do?" This is their fault because I gave you my wonderful
animal control on it?
family. Oh, absolutely. I gave him he was just peacefully resting, and then you have him one day,
So to be clear, you are gifting a dead animal to your
but a bad relative.
right,
Yeah, I don't want to,
like Cruella.
exactly. If she happened to be like cousin Cruella, okay, and that she'd be probably fine with
But
that.
then you do blame them for killing it.
Now again, there is a situation here. Like if I had done that with Spike, I mean, they just got
They
a
have-
nice.
yeah.
They got an animal. So 1 out of 100 times, we're probably gonna be wrong. And this is a real sweet gift. Other times, it's not your fault. It's their fault.
All right, Mike, you get one more creative way
All
of
right.
disposing your dead pet in this lighthearted jaunt through creativity.
Through death. I mean, we knew it wasn't gonna be a happy-go-lucky draft.
We got to laugh our way through.
Yeah.
I don't know if you fellows remember this from a few years ago, but it hit the internet. It went viral. An artist went with this particular tactic after their cat had passed on. He took that cat and he attached it to a drone, and he made himself a helicopter kitty cat.
Oh,
What?
Okey-dokey.
I don't remember who.
You go ahead and Google helicopter cat, everybody.
Kitty cat. Okay.
And
That was a real cat?
Then it was a real cat,
Oh, no.
and it was a real
Kids,
Look,
don't strap a pet to anything.
Oh yeah, no. I mean that's just
that's
a helicopter.
That's a
kitty
helicopter
cat.
kitty cat, right?
That is.
I mean, one last flight.
Wow. Jason's
Okay.
face right now is aghast.
I mean, they did a great job. They really did good work. It looks.
It's a taxidrone?
It's a taxidrome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cats away. Artist turns dead pet into flying helicopter.
There you go.
So you could just call anything art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to call all of this art.
Well, here's the thing. Here, when they ask,
True.
Do you understand it?
No.
Then it's art.
Yep.
Okay. That's so.
Then it's good art.
Yeah, that is really
so
good.
that kid in the mountains setting the fire to this That was art. The spider fire.
No, because we understand why he was
okay.
trying to kill the spider.
Yeah, because they're monsters.
Wow, helicopter. Oh boy, I'm looking
Are the
at it.
pictures coming in?
Frightening.
Here comes helicopter cat.
Wow, what a terrifying.
The cat looks like it's having a good time.
It does. That's the artist did a good
They
job.
did a really good job taking care of this cat. It's on the prowl.
I mean,
Zoom.
it's flying with wings. This cat has wings now.
You're telling me.
I want to go that way.
When you're gone.
Absolutely. If you can helicopter me,
At your funeral, the casket
He
opens
soars up.
and chases
and fly out and away,
Up into the heavens.
yes. I mean, 100%. That's that.
Just
Do not
fly.
cremate me. Fly me.
over the people.
Fly me to the moon.
Out the door. No one has.
Gonna
any
need a bigger drone.
You set him on a one-way course, up and away.
Yeah,
You put the controller away until that battery dies.
that's right. You set the controller down, and everybody just.
And the
Salutes
pilot, yes, and the pilot just salutes as,
Yes.
as you fly out of your own funeral.
Yeah, they all salute. I think
Everybody
the
there
entire
salutes.
congregation there, they salute.
That's a different kind of funeral.
Second
That's better
start,
than the Viking
you
one.
set it to the second start of the right, straight on till morning.
Wow. Well, I won't be able to top that. I'm just gonna go with a pretty quick and easy. This is the kid. The bus just pulled up. You heard the brakes on the bus. You just realized the pet is dead, and you've
Right.
got to act fast. And that is obviously the garbage disposal. We're gonna get it in. We're gonna get it on.
Brutal.
Because it's illegal to throw it in the trash, right?
Oh.
You guys told me it,
Hope there's a goldfish.
and that's how we're gonna end this
Sir.
draft.
It's a horse. What are you doing? You can't do that. Oh man.
Oh man.
It's a horse. This is gonna take a while. All right.
What did we learn today?
I learned Andy is a savage.
Yeah. what a monster. At FBI. I mean, I learned that I write in large font, but that's nothing.
Oh my goodness. I learned that the market for illegal owls is bigger than I thought it was. So that's why we got one.
Oh,
Al
man.
Borland in the house. Any ways to dispose of pets we forgot there, Al?
I think you got it covered.
Yeah,
Chris.
that's
Just
right.
throw them.
Just toss them.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Hey, please tell your friends about the show. I'll see you next
Thanks
time.
for
Goodbye.
listening to the Spitballers podcast. To see what other nonsense the guys are up to, check out SpitballersPod.com.